Hey, welcome back to the channel. Chris Collin here with you on CC's Aquatic Adventures, and today we're going to redo the tops of these tanks. Okay, got to get done. I noticed a fish jumped out of here last night, and I don't want fish jumping out, so we're going to cover these tanks up. This one here, 20 gallon, 30 gallon, 29 gallon. 20 gallon, and the other 29 gallon where our puffer is. I don't see him in there, but he's probably yeah, he's hiding in the corner there. But you can see all the shells he's eating, the mussels, clams actually. So we'll leave that tank. We did this one already. I had to adjust this filter, so I'll just put this back like that, and put it back in. Nice and tight. There we can go. There we go. Sorry. Nice and tight. You can see that this one's still going, and we got these tanks open. I might do that one tonight too. I'm not sure. This one I'll leave probably. I want to maybe do the 10 gallons. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that out. But this one is definitely going to get a new top. I had a fish jump out of there already. I'm not sure about the 55 gallon, but I know these tanks here, I want to make sure that we get a top on them. And it's also good for the light. I kind of limited on lights down here. I don't plug the lights in all the time, but I did today. I kind of moved some stuff around just to get some light for them, and so I can see what's going on. But it's good for the light too. The light comes better. You can see through this. I had the spotlight above the 125. You can see pretty much the light going in there. And same thing with the 75. It's good for the light too. And I don't leave these lights on all the time. I usually use these lights here. I got plenty of them, and switch back there. There's lights over here, and I think that's it. There's one, two, but they're pretty bright. Got the spotlight there, spotlight there. But this is just for today. I usually keep the lights off. As you can see, the angelfish tank looks a little barren. I have to put some more fish in there. I will do that eventually. And of course, I have a rock in with a piece of wood in there, and driftwood, and the geophagus always comes in, and this is why it's good to have a geophagus, because he goes and sifts through the gravel. I got 3 in there now. I got a couple babies, smaller ones in there, but the bigger one, he goes in and eats all the gravel. So it's kind of a pain in the neck. Sometimes you gotta go in there and switch it back up. So I have to go back in there and kind of like fix it. I'm also gonna, I'm working on these tanks little by little. Eventually I want to get that 55 gallon, get some plants in there, maybe some plants in here. But we'll have to, I've been so busy with the pond. We should have to do a video on that. I've been so busy with the pond, I really haven't added any plants in these tanks, which I may do. I might go to the fish store and buy some plants. I really want to get these plants, some plants in there, because I kind of set this room up a little bit differently. I want to have lights, and I want to be able to grow some pothos along here, along the top of the tanks, which I may do, which I think will look great going along top of here. The longer tanks, I could even do it on these tanks too, drag it along the top of them, but that will come in time. We'll see if I could do something in the future. But I only lost the angelfish. I think I lost one swordtail that jumped out of there, and I lost I can't think of the name of those fish. They're I believe they're I can't think of the name of them right now off the top of my head. But one of them jumped out of there. I think it was a tetra. It was a red-eye tetra. Yeah, that's what it was, a red-eye tetra. Anyway, I have to get back to that fish. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, so I'm gonna run you through what I usually do with these. I went to the store. I got 3 of them the other day. There's Joey. Say hi, Joey. Joey's checking out the new basement. He hasn't been in here yet. So I was like, I'm gonna be working here once I bring him back here, and we can see how he does. He likes to be he he likes to do stuff, and kind of like he likes to observe, and he's curious. Um, so he likes to go and check things out. And we have what we call a catio, and he's got his cat tower out there, and he stays out there. But today it's 95 degrees, and it's really hot. The heat index, I believe, is 118 in Pennsylvania, or something like that, some crazy number. I saw it this morning. So we're staying inside today. I did a lot of stuff yesterday, so we're gonna just hang, and we'll do some stuff outside when it gets nicer out. I did do the pond stuff yesterday. I planted some new plants. I'll make a video now. I'll show you what plants I planted on the outside of the pond, and I also got some plants for the inside of the pond too. And plants are great for ponds. They're great for fish tanks, because it pretty much neutralizes your nitrates. So you always want to keep the nitrates out. It's healthier for your fish. I got 10 goldfish in there. I got actually 2 more. I'm going to show you right quick. These guys, my wife we went to the carnival, and we won these two goldfish. I got one white one, I think one white and orange. I'm quarantining them right now. You guys know I always quarantine every fish I get. That's why I have this tank. It's only 3/4 of the way full because it leaks. It's got a seal leak. I might have to reseal this tank, but for now we'll just keep it halfway full. You can see the goldfish swimming around there. They're doing good. I'm gonna keep an eye on them. I already treated them with salt, and I may have to treat them with some other stuff. If I'll keep an eye on it. If they get any type of growth or any disease, I will put Marison on them. Only reason why is because when you get a fish from you don't know where it's from, and it was sitting out in the hot, you don't know what kind of stress they're under. So and you can tell they're not under stress anymore, but they were under stress in the bag, and I got them out. So they're in there now. We're happy with that. Of course, I got another betta for the bowl. He's in there somewhere, but I got him for $3. I put him in there. You see, beautiful, right there. But my wife picked him out. She likes the blue. There's a little red in there too. But I got this cover now. I've been using it. I found a black one, and it's a little thicker. But we're gonna keep this on top of here for now. I don't want him to jump out. And we've had issues. Bettas jump out, in case you guys don't know. And I know people will say, well, there's a reason why they jump out, because water problem, water issues, whatever. There's no water issues in my tanks. This tank is, you plant in them. I check the water all the time. It's just the way. This is what bettas do. They jump out. And some people will complain that this is too small for the betta. Bettas live in freaking 1.5 gallons. Sometimes this is probably about 3 or 4 gallons. Plenty of room in there for him. He's by himself. He's fine. Anyway, let's get to the project at hand. We want to go show you guys the real project at hand, which is getting these grates cut up. Now, the first thing I do is, what you need is notebook, obviously a pad, which I have right here. This is my water. That's the soundbar I use, or whatever you call it, the beats. I don't know what the hell they call this thing. It's a little Cove, they call it. Cove Beats, but it's got a little speaker, and I can play my music. And of course, this is a cutter. I use it. You can use this. This is like garden. I don't know what they call them, garden tweezers, or not tweezers, garden. Pretty much cut your plants, or cut your branches or leaves off. A pruner, that's what it's called. Yeah, pruner. So we'll use that. Now, first thing I do. Now I know these 30 gallons are pretty much the same size. So you just measure. You want to measure in every tank who has a lid on it, a black lid, or not black lid, a black. These are actually barriers, or to keep the glass in place. It's pretty much a barrier for to hold it in place and to put your lid on. But you're going to measure from this corner right there to this corner. So let's get this straight a little more. So it's kind of this corner. So it's if you look from there on the inside to here, it's 5, a little less than 5.5. So we'll say 5.25. So put that in on your paper. I usually just put 5, so I don't have to worry too much about the measurement. But 5 and 2 lines. Okay, now I know those two are the same. I'm gonna do one for the 40 gallon too, which is a 40 gallon high. I just measured this and it's a little different. So this one going across is, if you look, it's a little under, probably about 4 3/4. I always call it that, 4 3/4. Let's make sure. Now, when you cut these, usually it's kind of a weird thing. You don't have to cut it exactly right, because you can usually get away with if you mess up a little bit. And then that's 11 inches. Okay, so we know it's 11 inches wide and 4 3/4 long. So 4 3/4 and 11. 4 3/4 and 11. 4 3/4 times 11. Write that down. Now, take your, I usually use a table. I have an extra table that I use. Sometimes we do yard sales and use this table. So I keep this like that. Take this piece, put it on your table. Now I want to see if I can get this to stay while I do this. That's my finger. I will just do it this way. So anyway, the main premise of this is to cut it where your measurements to set. So yeah, we never measured the width of this tank. So this one is, see, this one's 11.5. Watch it again. 11.5. So a little different measurement than the 40 gallon. Someone always told me that the 40 gallon was the same size. I think it might be a little bit bigger. What did I say? 11.5. Let's make sure, because I always forget. Yeah, 11.5. Cat, he's checking out everything. But I don't really care. It keeps him out of trouble. So anyway, for some reason my phone won't let me turn the other way around. So anyway, what you do is take it. What I usually do is go. You try to pretty much measure. You don't want to waste a lot of this stuff. So what I usually do is figure out what's the best way to do it. So it says 11 inches. So this is going to be about the width of this whole thing. So it's pretty much, I don't have to really do much cutting on this, because this one's 11.5. So 11.5 would be a 40 gallon, but worst comes to worst, we could just cut the end of this piece. We're not really wasting a lot. So this whole piece, we should be able to get all 3 tanks, which is good. And then I could do these 10 gallons, which I want to do, and get rid of these old jacked up all the jacked up tops will be thrown out. This one's broken. You know, it breaks, drive me crazy. This, you really can't see the light. So this way, you'll see get more light in there. This one too, it's kind of broken. But we'll keep the light on top. But there's no point in me keeping this stuff here. And I could actually move these lights, but these are actually just breeding tanks. I know this is we got a couple different fish. And this is a killifish here, and these are the troglodytes. So I don't really care about what they look like, because I'm probably gonna get rid of these fish anyway, or trade them for something else, which I haven't called the fish store yet, but I'm going to today. So, and I'll, and if anything, we get the light from over here, or right here. The light's right over the top of this tank. That light there is right over the top of the tank. So we may do that. So all you're gonna do is take your trusty cutter, and like I said, we'll do the first. The first one is gonna be the 11-inch one, and it's by, I think, 5. What did I say? 5. Is that right? That can't be right. It might be right. Oh, it's 11 by, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Good thing I went back and measured it again. So it's 11, 2 feet. So width-wise, we're good. So we have to figure out it's something different. Obviously I measured it wrong, but it's 2 feet plus the 5 1/4. So it's 2 feet 5 inches and 1/4. Yeah. So what you're gonna do is, we know that this, you might have to cut a little bit off the end of this to make it 11. You look, 11 inches is right here, so we have to cut the end off of that. And long ways, we just gotta go. You see, I gotta do this sometimes. I gotta cut. I gotta figure out. So I won't be able to do all the tanks in here, unfortunately, because this is going to be going out to here. So it's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter as long as we got enough inches to make. We'll have to figure that we might have to use this piece for the rest of this piece for the 10-gallon or the 20-gallon. Figure, depending on what the measurements are. But anyway, I only bought 3, so I don't have to do all tanks today. But I'm going to do, I'm going to do ones that need lids, like the 30-gallon and that 40-gallon and that 20-gallon. I need to put a lid on because of the light situation. And possibly the 10-gallon. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I want to measure this one more time, make sure that this is right, because I'm a little hypochondriac. But yeah, so this is going to be width-wise, it's 11.5. Okay, so we know that we don't have to cut it this way. It's 11.5 actually, so we could leave it at 11.5, and it's perfect fit, which is freaking awesome. But anyway, you get your measurement going this way because this is the way we're going to cut it. Now, if you look, I had it 5 and a little bit less than 1/4, okay, which is that second line. So what you're going to do is, when you cut it, you want to cut it on this side of this piece. Now, don't forget, when you cut this, you're going to have a little bit of space, so you'll be able to, put your wires through there, whatever. I'm probably going to have to cut the middle of it, but for now, what I usually do is cut this first, 5 1/4. I don't want to go too crazy, but I'm just showing you guys what I do. So after this piece, we're going to go back here and we're going to cut it right there. So that's where you want to cut. Now you can see the way you cut it. Sometimes if you cut it too much, you get this. It's perfectly fine. You'll still be able to lay it in that tank, okay? But you don't want to go past that because you won't be able to fit it inside. I like to keep them pretty tight, so if the fish do decide to jump, they don't go all the way up. These do, you don't want to put it too tight either, okay? You won't put it too tight because you want the fish to have some kind of a boundary where if they hit it, there's some cushion. There you go. You want some cushion so they don't completely smack the head. We can kill them, you know. The Baylor sharks like to jump, but I keep this. If you look, go back here. This is not that tight, so it comes up. So if they do jump, it'll stop them from jumping, but it also won't. It won't have them jump all the way out or hurt themselves too much because it's going to bounce up. Okay, which is why I like these things, is that it's some, you know, some cushion there. Anyway, so I'm not going to do the whole cutting thing because I'm already at 20 minutes. So you just cut it all the way down to, for your measurement, we're going to cut it all the way down to 11 inches. And see this, I had this wrong, so 11 inches over up here. So I don't know what I was talking about. It's a good thing I measured it again. It's only 11 inches is up to here, so we do have to cut it long ways. I don't know what I was looking at. Looking at the other, this more than almost 2 feet. So yeah, I was looking at it wrong, but this is 11 and a half here. So actually we'll be able to do probably, if it's 11 and a half, we'll probably be able to do both of 30 gallons. Yeah, so which works out better. We could do a 30 gallon. I don't know how long. This might be 2 feet. Yeah, so we'll have to see, you know. It's probably not going to fit, but we'll be able to get 20 gallons. Anyway, so what you also want to do, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I'm at 21 minutes now, but when you cut your piece out, you want to make sure that you have, you know, to cut the lines for your equipment. So like I usually, so we know that from where the measurements are, you want to put at 1 foot and 1 foot 1 inch and a quarter. You got to cut a hole so you can come out and get the filter in there, and you measure both sides. So you know this is 9 3/4, and this one is a foot, like I said, a foot and about 1 1/4 inches. So when you cut this, you want to measure. I usually cut the piece I need first, and then cut the hole that you need. So once I cut this to the measurement, once I cut, you know, the measurements that I need to make the cover, then you cut you measure from here to where, I think, what did I say, 1 3/4 inches. So right there, you want to cut here, and you're gonna come out a little bit. You don't want to come out too much, but you're gonna measure going out too. So it's about, I think it's probably about 1 inch. Yeah, it's about 2 inches. You're gonna come in 2 inches in, and then whatever the measurement that way. So you're just gonna cut that piece out. You know, you cut that piece out, and that's gonna give you your opening for that. So what I'll do is I'll cut this, and then I'll make a video when I'm done, and I'll show you the outcome. But that's the way I do it. You can buy these in a hardware store. I think I paid 17 bucks for a sleeve, and I got 3 of them. So 60 bucks. You could do probably, I would say, 4 tanks, 5 tanks, and you could also make a hole for feeding. But these holes actually are big enough for feeding. I actually put pellets through there, and it's perfectly fine. I do have to take it off if I feed them like brine shrimp. I don't want to get the all dirty. So but that is a good way to get your tanks covered. If you have a room like with a light already, it also helps with lighting, and you can also see your fish better when you have openings on top. Now you do get some evaporation, but that's what those are for. I got 2 of them running right now. Keeps it at 49%, which is perfect, which is what you want to be. Sometimes you get too dry, but 50% is where you want to be. You gotta find the damn cat. Oh, he's ready to laying down. See, she's comfortable. This is all the stuff we have to put away. We haven't been able to do it yet. My wife's been working a crazy amount of hours. I had to get another procedure done, so it's always something. Of course, I got my Metallica tissue box. So anyway, I will come back and I'll show you what I did. And of course, I could make a whole video, but it'll be 30 minutes, and you know how Facebook works. I probably won't get any views on this video, but it's at 25 minutes. That's perfect. So if you're pretty handy, you know how to measure. So you're just gonna measure from the inside of the tank, like I said, and inside to inside. That'll get the sit on in there nice and comfy, like this one. I did have to cut this a little bit on the side, but that was because I had a little extra. But if you do that, it fits right inside, and it's kind of flush with the top of your tank. So that's what you want, and you want to actually cut the openings for the filter and whatever other equipment you have. That is my video, guys. Till next time, we'll see you. Remember, if you can't own them, rehome them. Have a good day, guys.